Okay, so today I'm going to teach you how to create a game in Administratum. It's easy once you get the hang of it, but we have a lot of first timers here, so I want to just slowly walk you through it so you get an idea. Now, this is something that everybody must know how to do. Once you finish playing a game, someone has to create the game in Administratum. Once the game is created, both people need to go into the game to list the units that they use, which ones died, which ones killed what, etc. You're going to see that now. Uh, this morning, I created a dummy account with a dummy roster, so I'll be able to walk you through it by creating a game with that dummy account. So you see right here we're in the home page of Administratum. So we're going to go to campaigns on the left. And I'm only in one campaign, as most of you or all of you are, Pariah Nexus campaign. Okay, so immediately you're going to see that it has a dashboard, rosters, users, games, gallery. So we're interested in games. So you don't need to go into rosters or users, just click on games. Then we're going to go on the right and it says add game. We're going to add the game. Now it gives you two options, a solo game or a validated game. Like 99.9% of the time we're doing a validated game. So it has us deciding the format of the game. Was it a 1v1, a 2v2, a 1v1v1? These can all happen. Crusade games don't have to be 1v1 all the time. If there's four people that all want to play, as long as you're not playing against someone from the same team, you can have like a 4-player free-for-all if you really wanted to. In this case, I'm just going to have a 1v1 because there's only the one dummy account. It does here has custom game type. So if I have like 8 players versus 4 players, then I would type 8 for the first party, 4 for the second party. So this screen is all about just who's playing who, how many people there are, how many people are on one side, like 2v1. That's going to happen a lot. There's going to be 2v1 games where 3 people want to play and 2 are on the same alliance. In any case, we are going with 1v1 for now. All right, so now it wants us to choose player 1 and player 2. So for player 1, the roster is Pony Princess, the Living Nightmare. That's my personal Crusade roster. Teams haven't been generated yet because not everybody has joined the Administratum yet. And then there's score. So let's switch over to player 2 for right now. We're going to use Pony Practice. The roster's name is Forest. Again, teams haven't been decided yet because not everybody is in Administratum yet. And let's say it was a close game. It was 50-40. So we hit next. Now this tripped me up at first. The back button and the next button are all on the very bottom of the page. Usually when you're creating these games, you're going to be using a smartphone. After you finish your game, you're going to pull out your smartphone and you're going to create the game in Administratum. So you're going to be using the mobile version of Administratum, and you have to remember to go all the way to the bottom to find the back button and the next button. So we're on the battle report screen. You can see on the top left, Pony Princess, the Living Nightmare. Top right, Pony Practice, Forest. You can see the score, 50-40. Campaign, we're only in one campaign together, the Pariah Nexus campaign. Date is the day the battle actually happened, so we'll say that happened today. Battle size, if it's 1,000 points or less, we do incursion. So for a 500-point game, we do incursion. Points, it was a 500-point game. So at this point, we name the game. There is no naming convention. You can name it whatever you want. Uh, One person named their game Rage Quit at one point. Uh, you know, kind of funny, but I'll often do like so Crusade Day 1 means it's the first game that I played on Crusade Day. Since we're doing 500 points each, we will more than likely be playing multiple games on Crusade Day because the games will go by very fast. So I typed in Crusade Day 1, and then if I played a second game, I would probably call it Crusade Day 2. And then for games happening in the middle of Phase 1, I might say Phase 1, Battle 1. But that is really way too structured. You don't have to do that. I do that for my own benefit. I don't do it for anyone else's benefit. You can just type in Game 1, you can type in Game, you can type in anything. So mission, it's already loaded with all the Pry Nexus missions, and the Leviathan missions. As a hint, the mission that we're playing is a modified version of Nullification Field. So we're going to choose Nullification Field. Now, Victor bonus. Games often give a bonus to whoever wins. For example, a free battle honor, a free battle trait, a free crusade relic, additional experience points, etc., etc. Common is one extra requisition point. Now, we actually... I don't want to give too much away about Crusade Day, so I'm going to put in Battle Honor. So, as Pony Princess, I won the game, and my Victor bonus was a free Battle Honor. Okay, I hit the next button. Now it's showing me everything, and it's asking me to verify it before I submit it. And everything looks right, so I'm going to hit submit. So you can show this screen to your opponent, and they can immediately go to where they can confirm results. So there's multiple ways to confirm results. My favorite way is to go on the very top right, the very, very top right, right next to my name. There are notifications. And right here, the notification says, you have a validated game against Pony Practice ready for Army submission. So that's my preferred way of doing it. I'll show you a different way. So I'm in my roster right now. Games is one of the tabs, so I'm going to click Games. And you'll see there's the game. It has my name and my roster on the left, Pony Practice and Forest on the right, the score, the name of the game, the date, and it says pending approval. So I clicked on it, and this is where both sides will approve. So really both sides are saying submit army right now because no one has submitted an army yet. It's only showing me submit army under mine because I can't submit my opponent's army. They have to do that themselves. So to review, one person creates the game, and then both players have to come in and submit their armies. So the game was just created, and then whatever method that we use, like I like using the notification, but there are different ways to get in here. You want to submit army. Okay, so this is my roster. I have a 2,000 point roster, and when I met up with Pony Practice, I built a 500 point roster, or I'm sorry, a 500 point army list. So that army list involved the Warrior Forge, which is a canoptic reanimator. It involved the Forgotten, which is a Necron Warrior squad, 20-man squad. Keket, which is a Plasmaster, and Thoth, a Royal Warden. I haven't updated the points yet with the balanced data sheet that just came out. So finally, I'll add the Grim Reapers, which are Scorpec Destroyers. It's a 6-man Scorpec Destroyers. So this is actually 560 points. So I'll remove Keket. There, we're at 495 points. Right, so now I'm going to hit next, which again is at the very bottom. And now it lists all the units that were in the battle. So a good thing about starting with 500-point lists is these lists here, these army lists, are going to be pretty small starting out, so it gets you used to it. Because at a 2,000-point game, you're going to be scrolling through a lot of units. So the Warrior Forge didn't kill any units. Here's where I can put any bonus XP it got. Now, every unit that participated in the battle gets XP. That is done automatically by Administratum. By selecting these 4 units, they already are given their automatic XP. You can even see the calculation. It's a 0 XP plus 1 XP. So it's already giving me the free XP. So let's say I had an agenda that gives me 2 experience points for doing something specific. So let's say the Warrior Forge did that specific thing. I accomplished the agenda, so I'm going to give myself 2 experience points. The Forgotten, the Necron Warriors, I'm going to say that they killed 2 units. And I'm gonna say that's all they did. Thoth, the Royal Warden, didn't kill anyone because he's just mostly there for support. I'm gonna say he didn't get any agenda or bonus XP, but I'm gonna mark him for greatness. You can mark 1 unit per for the battle for greatness. When you mark them for greatness, it gives them 3 XP. So now, for participating in the fight, instead of getting 1 XP automatically, he gets 4. As a victor bonus, some missions give you an additional marked for greatness. Finally, we have the Scorpec Destroyers. I'm going to say they killed something too. They're probably going to be my main killers if I set up a list like this. And that's it. There's nothing else. The reason we keep track of kills is because for every 3 kills, you get 1 extra XP. And let's say the Warrior Forge is destroyed, which often happens. They're sitting ducks. They're, tall vehicles that don't have great defenses. So since I clicked destroyed, he's still going to get all his XP, everything that's coming to him. But now you'll see there's an out of action test. So we can go over this later, but at the end of the game, every unit that was destroyed, you need to roll a die. If you roll a 1 for any of them, they have rolling the die is the out of action test. So any unit that was destroyed, you roll an out of action test by rolling a die. If it turns up a 1, that means you did not pass. If it's anything other than a 1, then you passed. So you're passing most of them. But in this case, let's say the Warrior Forge got a battle scar. He ended up rolling a 1. So I would pick a battle scar from the Pariah Nexus campaign book. I'm not actually going to look one up right now. Let's say it gives him -1 to hit. I don't think any battle scars are that punishing, but I might be mistaken. Maybe they are. I haven't really looked them over. So anyway, that's the battle scar he has, and he's going to have that battle scar forever unless I spend a requisition point to remove it. So now we hit next. And here it's telling me to review everything before I submit it. You can see all the details of the game here. including the units, what they killed, how much XP they got, etc. It says marked for greatness for Thoth. So I'm going to submit. And now I can view the game if I want to, or I can go back to roster. So let's view the game. So now you'll see my side says approved. And you can see there's details here. It shows the 4 units that participated, how many kills they got, how much XP they got, etc. The other person doesn't have anything yet because they didn't go in and approve like I did. So generally you want to approve these as quickly as possible, because if you don't do it the same day, you will forget, and we will have to track you down and remind you to go in and do it. And that's not fun, because if a few days pass and then you go in to validate your game, you're going to forget details about the game. You might forget who died. You might forget who killed what. The ideal is to have some scrap paper while you're playing and to write down, like, my Scorpec destroyers killed something. So I write down like an S or SK and put a little like tally mark, or write the number 1 or something. That way you'll always remember. But that's also just good practice, because once you're done with the game, you will have to approve the game, and so it'll be handy to keep track of who did what. So that's everything. Again, this is crucial that everybody understand how to do this. I apologize for the long video. Somehow I doubt that everyone's going to watch the entire thing. I really hope that you do, because this is extremely important. After you play the game, one of the players must create the game, and then both players must go in and approve of their side of the game. And hopefully all of this happens right after you're done with the game that you played. It doesn't take very long. It took a long time because I'm explaining things in this video, but in reality, it'll take minutes, and even faster when you get used to it. But feel free to watch this video again if you need anything reinforced. And please, please, please learn how to do this before January 5th. Because after January 5th, we're going to have several games played on January 5th, and all of them have to be created. All of them have to be approved. All right, so that's it for the video. I hope this was informative and helpful.